Hi, my name is Lucas Counterman. I'm the lead pastor here at Gospel Grace Church in Salt Lake City. And we've been in some difficult times here these last few weeks with the coronavirus. I think the numbers are somewhere around 42 residents of Utah have positively tested for the COVID-19, and 10 of our guests here in our state, and I imagine that the numbers are going to increase. In addition to that, many of us were woken up this morning by an earthquake that was 5.7 on the Richter scale. We had 50-something aftershocks. I think the largest aftershock was at 4.6. I felt like the floor was moving underneath me like waves of water. These are scary times. They're scary times for all of us, for our families and our friends here in the city. And in times like these, I think we wonder, where do we look? Where do we look for help? Where do we look for hope? Where do we look for happiness in seasons like this? And I want to encourage our city with maybe just a few thoughts. And first is, in times like these, I think we need to look out. And that is, look out for one another. Look out for our friends. Maybe reach out and make sure that they're okay. Look out for our neighbors. Jesus said, we're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves, and this is a time where we can do that, where we can look out for one another. I think it's also a time where we can look in, and that is we can really stop and evaluate what's important in life, what's meaningful, what's significant, what lasts. A lot of our comforts have been peeled away, and it's left us with perhaps the things that matter most. And these are the times for us to look in and remember what's really important. So look out for one another, look in at what's important. I want to encourage you to look back. We've not always had the coronavirus, and we haven't always struggled with earthquakes. So look back to some good memories, times you shared with friends and family, times you laughed together and enjoyed life together. The scriptures actually say, laughter does good like a medicine. And so I want to encourage you to look back, grab a good memory, and spend some time thinking about those things. Look out for one another. Look in at what's important. Look back to a good memory. And maybe one last thing, and that's this. In times like this, it's important for us to look up. Look up to God. That's where we find hope and help. The hope and help that we need in seasons like this. One of the psalmists said this. He said, "Why are you cast down, O my soul? Why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God." And I just want to encourage you during a season like this to hope in God. There's a story in the gospel account of Matthew where the disciples were in a boat and they were in the midst of a storm. And it says this in Matthew 14, they were a long way from land. They were beaten by waves, and the wind was against them. Off in the distance, Jesus came walking on water, and Peter, the disciple, saw him and said, "Jesus, if that's you, would you call me to come out?" And so Jesus said, "Come." And Peter walked on the water. And as long as he looked at Jesus, he was able to walk on the water. As soon as he took his gaze away and looked at the waves and looked at the storm and looked at the wind, he began to sink. And it's just a reminder, when we're in storms and trials like we're going through right now, it's a time for us to remember to look to Jesus. He's the author and finisher of our faith. If there's anything we can do for you here at Gospel Grace, if we can offer a helping hand or a spiritual word of encouragement or a prayer or a visit, we'd love to help in any way we can. You can just look at the link below and find a way to offer help or even to receive help in this time here in Salt Lake City. God bless.